Well, hello and welcome to episode number 53 of the Daily Sales Message, where each and every single day for at least the last 53 days in a row now, we've provided you with a piece of simple and actionable sales advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff too. If you're new around here, my name is James Newell. I teach people how to sell for a living, and for me it comes in two very distinct parts. The first one is developing a clear sales message so people understand exactly what you're offering. The second one is developing selling confidence, being comfortable and confident in a selling situation. In this episode of the Daily Sales Message, we're talking about next steps, and this is a fascinating one for me, and I often laugh when I'm talking to clients and students about this, and I don't know if you're going to resonate with this, but sometimes you spend so long trying to find buyers, talking to people, handling objections, following up, sending emails, doing this, doing that, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody says, hey, James, like the sound of this, I'd like to buy. What's the next steps? What do we do? And if you're not careful, you could appear visibly surprised by this, because you face that much rejection and you've worked that hard. You go, oh my God, somebody actually wants to buy. Okay, what do we do? It's a really common thing. And the problem is, it can be a bit disconcerting from your buyer, because if you come across a price that they want to buy, that's not very encouraging or reassuring for them, is it? So my suggestion here is to set out very clearly what the next steps are to buying from you. What do you want them to do? Send an email, send you some money, get an invoice, book an appointment, book a call, go through an online form. What is it? Iron it out. Make sure you know if and when, and more likely when rather than if, somebody says, hey, I'd like to buy from you. You can say, that's wonderful to hear. I'll just talk you through the next steps to how we get this started. So for example, for my Selling Confidence group coaching program, the next steps are we would book a sales strategy call where I spend about 45 minutes with you on the phone, get to know you, get to know your business, and we work out if we can help you and if we're a right fit. And if we are, then we'll talk you through how to enroll in the program, which means obviously paying to enter, filling out some forms. And one of the first things we'll actually do is create an action plan, a tailored, personalized action plan for you, so you know specifically what you need to do and in what order to improve your sales performance. So I can talk potential buyers straight through the next steps of buying from me and what they want to hear, which is confidence. I'm going to lead the conversation. If you remember from a previous episode, or if you're an avid fan, of course, of the Daily Sales Message, I talk about confidence, certainty, and expertise. Confidence, certainty, and expertise. These are three of the main things your buyers are looking for. That's why if they say, great, I'd like to buy from you, what do we do here? If you flinch, it's not very confident, it's not very certain, and it's not really very expert of you either, right? Whereas if you say, lovely to hear that, there's three steps. First, we just need to get your details. Second, we'll send you an invoice. Third, we'll enroll you on our blah, blah online course, whatever. That's what they want to be hearing. And for you yourself as the seller, it's one thing to map it out, but you also need to map it out and simplify it to such a way that you do not have to read it from anything. You don't have to refer to any notes. It's internalized. Because trust me, if I read something from a screen to you versus I tell you it from my mind, it has a very, very different feel. And if I tell you something from my mind and I'm spontaneous, even though this is a predefined thing, but I'm spontaneously talking about it, I'm not reading a prescriptive thing, it feels more flowy, more natural. It's much more conducive to you having faith in me. If I go all robotic and say, okay, well, that's wonderful to hear. The first thing we need to do is to enroll you into our business Slack group. And then from there, what we will do is, I know nobody actually talks like that. I'm making it sound worse for illustrative purposes, but you get the point. You can tell 9 times out of 10 when somebody is reading something or somebody is just speaking from their heart, speaking from memory, speaking from experience and ability. So the moral of the story today is have your next steps defined, because somebody will actually want to buy from you. And if you're not ready for that, you can scare them away because they'll taste and feel the surprise, the sheer surprise that you have. Oh my God, finally, somebody was right. This is not a drill. What do we do? So be prepared. Note down the next steps and then simplify them so you can memorize them. You don't have to read them from a sheet. You can tell me from the top of your head. And I get the sense that it sounds like you know what you're talking about, and I'm not the first person to tell you I want to buy from you. That's what we need to be aiming for. So what are those next steps? That's it for this episode number 53 of the Daily Sales Message. Tomorrow, in episode number 54 of the Daily Sales Message, we're talking about providing support for your buyers. Tune in tomorrow. I'll explain that in a little more detail, how you put that into practice, and also how we can monetize and turn this into an additional revenue stream, an additional profit center for you. If you haven't already connected with me on LinkedIn, then please feel free to do so. I'm very, very active on LinkedIn. I share a lot of content there. It's the best place to kind of reach me for a DM or check out some of the other free content and free things that I talk about. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of the Daily Sales Message, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for episode number 54.